Okay. Here we go. Another week, Mordred Community Multiplayer, EU4 edition. Great powers. Chaos, Boiscarvo, Bahazin, Resincan, Reveria, Magraharma, Vern. Oh, the Ram Dwarves. They might have been up there last time, or maybe they were close. Yeah, glad to see Vern on there. It's a place they should be. Um, yeah, not a lot of surprises otherwise. Oh wait, let's actually see this. Economic hegemon, that's pretty huge. Um, the goods produced is really nice. And then naval hegemon's really powerful, already damaged from back row. No allies right now for Boyascarvo, so they're playing single player as far as that's concerned in my mind. Wow, tremendous amount of manpower, rolling in the monarch power, monarch points. Are they still working through this? Yeah, what are we doing here? Why? Why don't we have this mission complete? What's the requirement? Regimental camp, barracks, center of trade level 2. What don't we have? Someone's gonna have to tell me what's wrong here, because it looks like we have the barracks, we have the regimental camp, we have the trade depot. Oh, the culture? Is that the issue? Yes. Interesting. Oh, you gotta move this culture all the way down here. That's gonna take a while. But probably should get working on it. Don't know why you're not clicking the button. Because that unlocks this mission, which gives you more infantry combat ability. I don't know why we wouldn't do it. Tons of manpower, tons of money, just broken amounts of money. This is everything that's wrong with the economics of EU4 late game. Money becomes irrelevant. Run a +5 advisor. What are we doing here? This is also a mess. Just like give and revoke, give and revoke, give and revoke so that they've got some manpower. Like you can get the boosted manpower from them. Or maybe you're going for absolutism? Nope, you aren't. Okay, so yeah, not really sure what the plan is. But super strong position for Boyascarvo, untouchable essentially on their continent. Resincand might be able to mix it up with them. Oh yeah, plenty of manpower for Resincand. Plenty of money, not quite the same as Boyascarvo, but enough. Um, Force limit, ooh, quite a bit more. Yeah, Resincand could probably actually mess Boyascarvo up. 140% discipline, Jesus. Yeah, this is pretty powerful. Yeah, not sure. Some of the, because there's no modifiers here for combat ability or, is shock at 3 now? Yeah, some of the tags might be able to perform well against them, like Ram Dwarves with some of their bonuses, etc. But other than that, that's pretty powerful military. Chaos, yeah, not nearly as much manpower. Force limit's probably quite a bit smaller. Economy is still pretty strong, but they now exist at the whim of Resincan from a military perspective. Diplomatically, it looks like they have no allies either. Resincan seems to be allied with Rosalard. Not really sure why. Gives them maybe a path to play in the old world. Vern looks like they finally made their move into Catarata. Big fan of that. Phoenix Empire looks like they moved into Catarata as well. So maybe some conflict brewing there. They actually do appear allied with Arboran and Phoenix Empire right now. So that's an interesting little twist. Plenty of manpower. Eco's pretty good. Force limit's a little bit low compared to some of the old world guys. Laurent, I'm basically going to call dead at this point. Rosalard, manpower is relatively low. Force limit's relatively low. Eco's really strong though. Yeah, very powerful trade income. Good for you, Rosalard. Small country, yeah, look, just so much money floating around. Force limit's relatively low. Yeah, I think we're starting to see a separation now. You've got Vern in the 700,000, and yeah, their manpower is still actually relatively low. Have they built all these? They have. Interesting. But there's a huge difference between 200 and 700,000 manpower. Just the ability to fight a long-lasting war is pretty tremendous. Got 300 over in Silverforge with a decent eco. 300. Yeah, so Vern, I would say, is head and shoulders above from a military perspective most of their neighbors. What's Reveria? Yeah, Reveria is relatively low. Looks like you're fighting the Phoenix Empire. Kind of slugging it out, relatively even. I don't believe Vern's participating in this war, so this is a little bit, it's not super accurate. It's going to be interesting to see who wins. Let's take a look. Professionalism's, oh, drained on the Phoenix Empire side. Phoenix Empire's in trouble. Ah. Yeah, rip Phoenix Empire. You might have gone a little, you both have gone pretty far over force limit. Phoenix Empire might have gone a little bit too far. Gonna be racking up debt pretty fast here. So, yeah, Demaria. Ooh, that's, yeah. It looks like Arboran, Silverforge, and Vern are starting to separate themselves from the rest of the Empire as far as military potential goes. Diplomatically, Arboran and Vern are aligned. Silverforge is aligned with Rosalard, who obviously is aligned with Rezincand. So you can't really attack Rosalard directly. Small Country is aligned with Reveria. Oh, that's an interesting little alliance. I like it. If I was them, I'd probably try to snag some of Laurent, and then Demaria's probably the weakest block. Their alliance with Blade Marches. Blade Marches is... Yeah, Blade Marches is still relatively weak, unless they have some super Anbennar modifier that I don't know about. And then Tornin, obviously they're just playing chess, so you can't really attack them. So if I'm small country, I probably attack Demaria with the help of Reveria. Or we gobble up Laurent first, grab some of this sweet, sweet land, and then we go after Demaria if we want to continue to grow. If I'm Silverforge, I probably go after Demaria. That would be an interesting little war. I think Silverforge would win it. If I'm Vern, I continue going into Catarata. If I'm Arboran with Vern, maybe I take down Blade Marches. Move into Eskin. Yeah. Those would probably be the plays I make. Rosalard obviously keeping in Laurent, and then maybe turn on Demaria, depending on how helpful Rezincand feels. Phoenix Empire... If they lose this war to Raoul, it's gonna potentially snowball against them, unless they can do some diplomating. The one thing that would be interesting We've got, oh, ram dwarves have no manpower. Who did they fight? They have some professionalism. So there's still some diplomatic avenues open to the to Phoenix Empire, probably being the ram dwarves and the ogres. But if Raoul starts snowballing here, they get that next tag with 20% dev cost. It's going to be really hard for Phoenix Empire to keep up with them. Oh, good dev ratios for Phoenix Empire, though. Yeah, good on you, Phoenix Empire. Oddval Khanzad appears to have no allies. Eco's still in rough shape. Are you in a disaster still? No, you're out of your disasters. Okay. Banrahar. Ooh, allied with the 1G. Maybe they'll move into the Elephant Lords. This is really tough here. All power cost 23%. Min autonomy plus 11. There's just, corruption is one of the few things you can't make up for with ducats. Like if you're behind on mana, you can hire better advisors. If your military is too small, you can go over force limit, and ducats help cover up those holes. Corruption, I think at max it goes down by 2 a year. Oh, 1 a year. So there's some other modifiers obviously, but the rooting out corruption is max 1, so you're looking at like 20 years of pain with wasting monarch points, when monarch points are the only finite resource in the game, if you will. Oh wow, must have been some sort of war here. You're drained quite a bit of manpower. Still have full professionalism though. You still have a ton of professionalism, so your military is still quite strong. Your eco is probably just, yeah, in shambles compared to your neighbors. 181, 170, 500. Yeah, are you guys not building soldier households? Oh, come on, people. There's a lot of, yeah, grain and livestock here. Tons of livestock here. Need to be putting up soldier households and tearing down your manufactories. The Fetton. Oh, so much money. Still losing decent amount of land to 1G. If they can somehow get, what's their Elephant Lords and Ballroom? I think they're in a, I don't know. It's a tough spot. It depends a lot what these guys do. But theoretically, no, Vanrahar is such a strong military tag. 30%, and then I believe they get don't they get some? Oh, he doesn't have this yet. Yeah, this is really strong if he's able to unlock it. What's he missing? 10% discipline? So yeah, he'll get there. Get some extra morale, some extra discipline, etc. And then this one's also pretty nice. So yeah, unless the kobolds have something special up their sleeve, it's going to be tough to hold off a combo of these two without Bozin coming in and helping out. Let's pivot. We're going pretty fast here. Yeah, your eco's just, it's going to be a struggle to keep up. The autonomy. Yeah. Yeah, that's an issue. There's so much dev here. Oh, but you are also like way behind on. Yeah. We're just playing so much catch up out here in the Forbidden Plains. I'm not sure how much of an impact they're going to have on the state of the rest of the game. And then Ram Dwarves, what's your deal? How did you lose all your manpower? You're making good money. You're allied with the Emerald. Oh, so maybe you fought with the Emerald Orcs versus Blade Marches. That would make sense. Yeah, interesting session. I think there's a little bit of a shakeup. This logjam and Bulwar that kind of got shooken loose is interesting. I like Katarata being eaten quickly. I like Raoul moving into Phoenix Empire. I think there's an opportunity for some interesting wars here. Um, Unfortunately, like with tags like Resincan and Boyascarvo, they are so large and bring so much manpower to the table and so much force limit. That's the problem with these New World tags. You basically play single player for so long, and then when you do come and play in the old world, there's no real like fair quote unquote way to interact with it because like Roselard and Silverforge versus Demaria and Blade Marches, that would be an interesting war. Um, Roselard 200k, 300k, so that's 500. Their force limit combines about 300. And then Demaria and Blade Marches a little bit behind on manpower, similar force limit numbers. Quality is probably going to be on Demaria and Blade March's side, but still, it would be an interesting war. You throw Resincan into the mix, and Resincan could take out Demaria and Blade Marches with one hand behind their back, because 140 discipline, tremendous manpower pool, tremendous force limit. It would just steamroll. So it's really hard to say what these players should do without it being unfun for both them and whoever they target. Theoretically, like a Vern, give Vern a little time and then they could probably stand up to a Resinkind. But yeah, that'll be interesting. Or if someone consolidates Bulwar quickly, they might be able to, but otherwise, Boyascarvo and Resinkind, you could probably fight each other, but besides that, yeah, it's kind of imbalanced. I think Riverian small country is an interesting dynamic. Eat Laurent and then find a way to grow into the Empire. I think Arbrand's in an interesting place, obviously allied with Vern. Pretty big potential power there. And then excited to see what comes out of Bulwar and what comes out of Rahen. Odval Khanzad, they could make a difference in a war here. I think this is a similar issue for however you say these people. It does look like they did fight someone. I'm not sure who. But yeah, it would make sense for them to, because if they come in on either side of this war, it kind of skews things. It's a difficult spot to be in. Um, but yeah, it looks like there was a little action in Bulwar, which is nice to see. Some more in Eskin. Yeah, Laurent at this point just needs to be gobbled up quickly. And then Ram Dwarves and Ogres. It'll be interesting. Ram Dwarves versus Oval Khanzad would be interesting to watch. I know Serpent Spine wars are kind of annoying because there's no maneuvering. It's just, and you're either always fighting on -1 and -2s, or always fighting on +1s and +2s. You're on the offensive or defensive side, so it's not as dynamic, but that would be interesting to see. Although I think, yeah, Ram-Tors are quite a bit larger. So, look forward to seeing next session. Hopefully we get a little more action, and Kenor and the New Worlders figure out something to do. But until next week.